Testing, testing. How are we doing, guys, on this wonderful, wonderful Saturday? Feels live on a Saturday, would you believe it? And it's not only just a normal Jackbox one that we would normally be doing, it's a podcast, it's a talk show, it's Saturday. Could you believe it? It's here. It's here. I'll tell you what, I've been working for like the last 6 hours on this stream. Got all the lights, you can see all the lights. It's looking really, really good. I'm late. Yeah, well, Morgie's in the house. Got by Paula, Chelsea, Rain. Yeah. But we got a special guest today, guys. You might know him. I've put a little picture on him just in case you don't know who he is. He is a great friend. We've worked out together how to do the stream together. That's a pretty impressive thing that we've done. So let's. Yes, let's just get to it. So, how are we doing, guys? It's just me at the moment. Don't you worry. Our guest is coming. Our guest is coming today. Everything's changed. I've got a new microphone. I've revamped the whole stream, guys. You know, from 4 years of having the same thing, we've actually got something a little bit different. I hope we're doing good. Paul, I hope you're doing well. Morgie, good. Omar, I hope you're doing well. I'm looking forward to this. I'm really, really looking forward to this. When I announced this a couple of weeks ago, I was super, super excited. So I'm still. I'll tell you what. I'm working on it. So the scene change was much louder than it probably was, to be honest. So, but how are we doing? How are we doing? So what the premise of this, guys, is if you've got any questions for Mr. Net himself, we're going to get to know a little bit about him, how he started streaming, why he's doing it, why he's only doing 1 day a week. You know, what does he do in his spare time? Is Mr. Net married? You know, all this stuff we're going to find out within the next couple of hours. So if you've got any questions you want to ask, within reason, of course, you know, we don't want to go too much into this. So, yeah, but we're two professional streamers. I'm too quiet now. Yeah. Okay. I'm never going to win, right? It's the new microphone. Which I didn't use before. So, but let's move on because if everyone knows on my stream, that was new music that I actually purchased. I actually got new music. I've actually got proper music now for the show. I'm looking forward to this, guys. So what I'm going to say, guys, is we're going to start the Fielc show right now. I thought that's pretty good. I thought that's pretty darn good. Right, so this is where the magic's going to happen, guys. This is where the magic's going to happen. Can you imagine what's going to happen when I click on invite guest to this? New music. It was. Thank you. Look, you're not here for me. You're not here for me. We're here for one particular person, and we're gonna introduce him. I've known him now for almost 4 years now. 4 years. He was just a regular guy, regular person, just playing some Jackbox. He's our current world Jackbox champion. Have you know as well? But please, we're gonna add this fine gentleman to the stream. Welcome, Electricnet, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
How?
Well, I'm just making sure this even works. Have we got you on the stream?
Yes.
Oh, it works.
Oh my God, does it work?
I can't believe it works.
I'm supposed to be yelling.
I don't know. I'm just double checking. I think I've noticed that green screen. Is that a particular homage to me about 5 years ago?
It is Salt Apple.
Ah, it was. Do you know what? I even debated to even get that. But I thought, do you know what? One thing at a time. One thing at a time.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah, it was. So I feel like you've done it in place. I mean, last time we did, I think one of the first collabs you ever did.
Yeah.
Was me and you, wasn't it?
Um, yeah, I mean, I didn't. It wasn't on my stream, but that was like one of the first collabs that you did on
It
your
was
stream. I was there. Yeah.
so it was, if I'm not mistaken, Smart Trivias. I believe that's how it all started, right?
Wow. Yeah. Now you have
I've
to explain what that's all about to people who don't know.
so so guys. I mean, you're the guest.
It's nostalgia.
You're the guest. This is nostalgia. So back in the day, guys, Party Pack 7 just got released, and we were playing Talking Points. And at this time, Electricnet was not a streamer. He was called in a last minute as a favour from me because someone, I can't even remember who it was, pulled out absolute last minute, and I said, "Andy, can you do me a can you do a massive favour for me?" He said, "What is it?" "Well, look, I need you to play Talking Points. I just need you to go all out." He said, "Yeah, sure, no problem. That'd be great." And
Yeah.
then, and now look at you now, 4 years later. That's
What
pretty.
happened was that people thought I was a streamer, and they were like, Who's that guy in Talking Points saying cool things? And why are we following all these other people and not that guy?"
I remember that. I remember that because I remember I did a French accent, which people loved, but they really just loved you. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie, I was quite jealous, to be honest. It actually annoyed me. I was like, hold on, I'm the
Yeah.
streamer. This guy's just some VIP on my channel. And now he's already taken, I think it only took you about 2 weeks and you already took over me in followers and viewers and that, which was pretty good.
Mhm.
Pretty
Yeah.
good. I mean, that's not very hard to do anyway, right? So,
Yeah. I'll show you how. By looking at chat and being like, "Hey, chat, how's it going?" and reading some of that because we haven't read chat at all. How's everybody doing?
yeah. How
Happy
is
Saturday.
Yeah, how are we doing? So, guys, if you've got any questions for Electricnet throughout this stream for the next hour and a half, let us know. We've got a couple of ones that we had from Discord. So we'll go over. We're going to find out a little bit about Electricnet, what he's all about, something maybe you don't know about him,
Yeah.
and maybe you might learn something as well. So let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. So where you're from, growing up, how are things? How did you come to start doing streaming?
That's a lot of things all at
Yeah,
once.
I
But
know, of course. Yeah, I
to
thought I'd
begin
be super vague. Yeah, of course.
to begin with, well, I am from basically where I am right now. I didn't move in. Well, I moved a couple inches, but not that much. I am from Copenhagen, Denmark, where I'm also residing right now. And I think if your other question was how I started streaming community games, uh, or Jackbox, I should say, that
Yeah.
I think it for most people it happened just like for most people I should say it happened uh, during COVID because couldn't be around friends and like hang out IRL. Who am I kidding? IRL friends? Who has that? But so I was sitting at home wanting to hang around and do stuff with friends online, and Jackbox just turned out to be a really good way to do that. And it turned out that my friend Fritz found that out. And I don't know if you remember
I
Fritz.
remember Fritz. I remember.
Uh, Dutch streamer. He says bald by choice, but you
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he started streaming Jackbox early 2020, like April or something.
Mhm.
And yeah, you see Poulos in chat. Fritz at What a Home, Rain Ray as well. You guys remember Fritz? Gamer,
Yeah.
you don't remember Fritz enough to spell it right, but that's okay. Um, and so we played a lot of Jackbox on there. I was an alien and stuff like that. Yeah, we met each other there, gamer. That's true. It's 3:30 a.m. It's okay.
Crikey.
And thank you for being here, by the way. And so that was a lot of fun. And I distinctly remember that I was talking to Fritz. We were looking at like, Jackbox on stream. That's fun. We wondered if anyone else was doing that. And then we looked around in the category. We found Nesbit.
Yeah, remember Nisbet.
Uh, Remember Nesbit?
Hmm.
And for people who don't know, which is like a British community game streamer. It was back then. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
And we I don't remember if I don't think Fritz raided there, but I think we were just like watching when we wanted to do some other Jackbox stuff while Fritz wasn't streaming. And then we were hanging out, and Ness raided you at the end of a Nesbit stream. And I remember, oh, that's the first streamer you follow, Gamer. That's cool. Yeah, that's right. ASK is Jackbox that brings all the folks to the yard. And so as Nesbit rated you, and I remember because I was very used to like, I wouldn't say I was used to like serious streamers, but I was used to like a distinctly different kind of humor than is on what is on your stream.
Yeah.
Because you've got the insulting people is fun humor. And when Pula says something in chat, you say you respond, "Shut it, wink." And then I can tell Pula isn't clearly aligned with it because Pula, I think she knows that you didn't mean it seriously, as in "shut it," but she was like, "It's all love." But no, Fielc knows that. Like, you don't have to say that. It's just like that's how we show love here. And so the reason I say that is the first time I was on your stream, I was not really aligned with it too. I was like, who the blah, 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 is censored is this person who's like insulting people left and right. What the hell's going on? And I remember for some reason that was an afternoon or early evening, and I was really tired, so I went to like go take a nap. And then I came back from the nap, and your stream was still on. And then I watched, and I was like, "Oh, you know what? I thought it was actually pretty funny." And then I remember that at the time I thought you were one of the funniest Twitch streamers that I've ever discovered. And I just became like I would say a power viewer of yours, being there all the time, and in the end preferring your streams to Fritz. Sorry, Fritz. So and because of that, just become the end of the story. That is when I was like, after a couple months, I was like, yeah, I can do this too, and then I did it too, doing the Jackbox stream.
Yeah, I remember you being on there all the time. It was yeah, like most people on my stream, it's hard to try and gauge the humor because we're family friendly. Because we don't, we are.
That's the other thing. It's like you
Yeah,
insult people, but you're family friendly. It's an interesting thing.
yeah. And most of the questions I always get is how can you do a stream where you insult people and you're not discriminated or not offensive, and that it is a very unique stream that I feel
Well,
that.
obviously, we can't be discriminated.
Of
Because
course,
that's
right?
against
No,
you
of
as
course, but
like,
it's when when you insult someone, people know that you got to try and take it with a light sense of humor, and that, and we tried to do that on my stream, and it was really happy. One of the proudest things I had was people like you. There was a couple of other people that decided, right, I'm going to give it a go, and were much better than me, and I was so happy because it was so good that even just you saying I was one of your your influences, never compliment me again as one of the funniest guys ever know. Just that's I don't do
didn't say
compliments.
ever know, but
Yeah, you
like
should. Well,
on Twitch, that's
I've
fine. And
reworded that.
I found funnier people since then.
Uh, uh,
So
like who?
I'm not gonna say right now.
Like, this is
No,
this is the
I
whole
know,
show, right?
I know that you don't like free promo.
No, oh, that's true. No, definitely not.
Oh,
We can't talk.
TV special Electricnet.
So yeah, I think it was. Was it about the end of 21 that you started streaming? I think,
It
wasn't
was
it?
the end of 2020,
Was it
actually.
actually the end of 2020?
December 2020. And this is like, I know we haven't yet got into. So, what's your advice for a new streamer? But I think we're already getting there
Yeah,
because
we
this
are.
is my number one advice, and that is harass a streamer. If you can do like a stream on their stream, and then at the end of the stream on their stream, you just go like, I'm gonna start streaming myself, boom, and then you just announce it to the world, and that's what happened on Fielc's
Yeah.
stream.
It was. I think it was. I
Yeah.
think it was directly afterwards. As soon as you were live, I think we raided straight into you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And one of the things, and as much as I think raids are really really good because you introduce yourself to new streamers, I think you're one of the few people we've raided, and all the people stayed. Everyone stayed. Everyone remained because everyone knew this guy called Andy. Didn't know you liked bananas then. You're just a guy that had this perfect voice. You know, you had a perfect voice, right? You had the voice for radio and the face for radio, right? That's what they say,
Mhm.
right?
I mean, I've worked on radio, so it makes sense.
Exactly, exactly
Yeah.
that. So, and then from there, you were doing about 3 days a week, weren't you? Because you were still working full time, even though it was COVID. You were still working an element
Yeah,
of
so I
full
was
time
working
from
full
home,
time from
right?
home. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just see I just saw we got a bunch of questions in chat, so I don't know if now makes sense to like pause on this and then take some of the questions.
of course, definitely. So we had a couple that was. Let me just get the
I know
uh,
too. That's a great choice. Yeah. Thank you.
yeah. So the couple that we got asked was, what was your inspirations for becoming a community streamer? I think you touched on it briefly. Your
Mm-hmm.
inspiration of becoming a community streamer. So
You're looking at the inspiration right now.
there was there anything else? I don't even know how to answer that, but you know, what was it about Jackbox itself that you wanted to do as opposed to doing, you know? Because I remember we did a stream. We played Mario. You know, I remember we did that. We played a couple of random games with Ian's of Ian as well.
Well, I am not good at those kinds of games, to be honest. I think the reason why I like Jackbox is because I don't have to play.
Yeah,
So I that's why I'm like when I tell people that I do Twitch streaming, they're like, "Ooh, what games do you play?" And I'm
yeah,
like, "I
yeah.
don't play games. I just sit and talk S word while people play games."
Yeah. And just so you know, we're off the family friendly for these talk shows as well.
Okay, I
So
talk shit.
yeah,
Okay.
pretty much. We're I just want to stress that for the purpose of this, and that, and everyone's going to go crazy now. I've said this, right? But yeah, we're laxed on the family. We're laxed on. Yeah, we're laxed.
Oh, I like
Mr.
that.
Net. I know. Yeah, Morgie band. Right. So that's right. So yeah. So let's see if we got any more questions.
So the
Just on
reason I asked Filsey was that there were some questions in the Twitch chat
yeah,
right now.
right. Okay,
And
that's why I'm. It's just you know. So let's now I've got to try and get it. Probably
there's one
didn't.
from Antisocial Kitty.
Oh, let's go for that one then. What was,
Um,
I've always been okay. So I've always been confused. Why don't you have any sign of an accent? Did you have to practice that? So obviously, quite clearly, when I met you, there was no indication. There's a footballer that plays for my favourite team, Manchester United, and he's Danish, and he's called Rasmus Højlund, and I
yeah,
can
he's like
tell,
one of the big
yeah.
players on the Danish
So I can
team.
tell that he is from Denmark. He's got a really, yeah, it's distinguished the Danish
A little
accent.
bit like this. He talks very Danish.
Absolutely right. So,
Yeah.
and if you asked me to name what accent you had, the last thing I would have said would have been Danish.
It is very nice to be on your stream today, and I will appreciate very much your questions. So I don't really know where it's coming from. I think Pula is correct. He's secretly American.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, you're right. That did end up sounding a bit like Arnold.
Yeah, it was a bit Austrian, wasn't it? So.
It's all of a sudden. So I think that I've always had like a very strong affinity for like languages and the way things sound and stuff like that. So I also when I was taking French courses and stuff like that, I also enjoyed speaking it and like mimicking the sounds as close as possible. The je ne sais quoi and whatnot, these things. So I think it's just that growing up, I've heard a lot of English spoken like this, and it's just like that's just the way I spoke. But it's definitely also something that's become more American with time. There's no doubt about it. I recently found a YouTube video from 2007 or something like that, where I was walking through a video game and I sound more Danish on that one. If you want, I can send you the link.
I think you can give us a little preview now. I think that'd be quite nice. But that doesn't sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger, please.
No, but I mean, I don't
No.
think I can necessarily mimic it right now. Is the thing.
Well, you could
No,
try,
yeah, it
right?
definitely
Yeah,
has evolved over time, and I think I think the easy answer to that question, ASK, is that I've been studying abroad in the U.S. Like I was in San Francisco for half a year, but I don't know if that's the answer because I think even when I was there, people thought I was American. So yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I hope that answers your question then, Social Kitty. I've got no further into that, to be honest. That was almost a politician answer, wasn't it? So, our next question was from D. Did Andy harass Fielc to make this collab happen?
That's more of a question to you, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, no. I decided that I wanted to do something I've always wanted to do is like a chat show. Something I always loved was, if anyone remembers, a guy called Grey Sofa. And Grey Sofa was I still think an inspiration for me for wanting to do this because he was so good at it. It was so good. I was one of his guests at one point, and I had the best time doing it. Just chatting without presenting, and just having a laugh, answering some questions, getting to know. It was so good. It was really good.
I remember Grey Sofa, of course, but just for people who don't, can you explain who it is, just to be sure that everyone.
Yeah. So Grey Sofa was a 94-year-old man who another he was a variety streamer that he used to love drinking. Like Tipsy loves drinking, but Grey Sofa was like his love for whiskey was on a different level. Did play Jackbox. I played Among Us. He did all of these things, and I generally do miss him. He was so good, and like many of us, we all started streaming in 2020 when the pandemic happened, and Grey Sofa. There was a group of people, DJ Spree, Nerd Glasses. There's all these people a group of people all at the same time, all streamed about May-June time. And it was so good because we had people that were already streaming, like Nesbit. Nesbit was there because he was already doing it. Heatley Kills was doing a lot of Jackbox. Dr. Luke Han was doing it. So there was a lot of people who were there who were really, really good. So, and you always had a lot of variety. Master Games as well was another one who was a really, really good streamer. I thought it was fantastic. So. So he was kind of the inspiration. But going back to the question, there was only for me one person I wanted to do the first episode because I've known Andy for almost coming up 4 years now. So and some of my streams are not the same unless he's there, and that's how it was always been from day one. Everyone had something a little bit different, but he was always one of the people which just like I know. I've got to raise my game. I've got to raise my game in terms of the sarcasm because some people won't, and the Electricnet, Andy, whatever you want to call him, raised the bar. Even today, even last week, he raised his game. He was there and he pestered me that whole stream. I almost felt like it was a nice break when he wasn't there last week, so it was quite nice. But yeah, there's only one person for me, and for me as a friend, if that's what we want to call each other, we can do, right?
I'll allow it.
Yeah, allow it because we have met each other, and we'll go into that as well. There was only one person for me, and a good friend, and most people who know me, I went through a bad time back in 2020, 2021, and always Electro was always approachable and always, one of the nicest people I've met on Twitch. And this is me not being sarcastic. This is just me being truthful. I think we could all say this is why I think it goes back to why you're. I honestly believe if you were streaming full time, you would have the numbers that Tipsy would have. I generally do believe that for the standard that you've set and the engagement you have for your viewers. You know, even for you, things like the golden ticket is something that's no one's done before, right? For Jackbox, right?
Hmm. I
Fantastic.
appreciate it, and I'm actually still looking at like how to make it even better, even though I don't have too much time for it, but I still have some ideas to how to make it even better.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, of course, I don't want to forget Joshy JJ as well. That I don't want to forget him as well. I know
That's
that
for sure.
yeah, another person that's you know, for me in the mornings, for me in the mornings when I used to work from home,
Mm.
Joshy JJ was the one person that would always, you know, he was super creative. You know, even with his Waluigi stuff, you know, it was so good. You know, we could name probably about another 40 people, to be honest, of people
Yeah.
who I just generally miss, but understand why people, you know, have gone from full time streaming or 3 or 4 days a week to probably what me and you are doing at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the long winded answer to that question, D. So yeah, but we got another question from D as well.
Yeah.
And they've asked, can you speak any other languages outside of English, Danish, and French?
I believe the answer to that would be no, and I think even like French is kind of stretching it. Like I've taken classes on it, but you know, you have to speak the language to like really, you have to speak it regularly to like really be able to speak it, and I just don't. So
I wish
yeah.
we could have a better answer than that, unfortunately, guys. But
I mean, you should have asked an open question and not a closed question. Like no yes, no questions. That's like the first thing that you know, you ask.
yeah,
That's the first thing you learn in journalism school.
yeah.
Mhm.
Excellent. Well, we got another question. Another question for Copper Bites.
Yes. Oh no.
Oh
Oh
yeah, no.
no.
I was gonna
Not
try and do it in French. You know,
okay.
like bonjour, Monsieur Net.
Bonjour, Copperbeard.
Uh, comment tu t'appelles?
Comment tu t'appelles? I mean, you already know what their name is, so
Yeah,
like
no,
it's
but
kind
I'm
of
asking.
weird to
Yeah,
like,
but
hello name, what's your name?
no, I just for the sake of this, we were just gonna go with it. But you know what? You've ruined it. We're gonna go for the question instead now.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Merd. Right. So I've got a question for Andy. Are those glasses real? Please tell me
Yeah,
that
they
they're
are.
not. I've been ashamed and humiliated for this. I haven't recovered since that moment, and my legacy is tarnished. That's
Yeah, Copper, they are real. And really dirty. I should clean them.
yeah.
Your legacy has been tarnished. Oh, there's an ad break.
Oh, is there? Oh, right. Okay. Well, we could just try doing our French again whilst the ad breaks on, right?
I'm just type. We're just testing
We're
out
just Frenching
our
out. We're just
French.
Frenching it out, right? That's what we're doing.
There it is. Let us know when the ads are over. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, of course. So this is obviously now we're just talking at subscribers level now. So
Yeah. Of which there are none.
no, definitely. I mean, you did gift 2 subs to the channel, so
Yeah.
I believe the 2 people that you gifted to aren't even here. So you're definitely right with that. So
Yeah.
right, right. So that's it for our
Mwah.
subscribers.
Right.
That's it for our
Yeah.
subscribers.
I mean, if you had been a subscriber, you'd learn the secret to
Yeah.
crazy things. Yo, ASK is a surprise.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, ASK. You know, if you can hear, that's the brand new sounds of the whole new stream. It's you know, I've gone all out. I've gone all out. I hope you do like it, though, Andy. Of all the new overlay, and I thought it was pretty nice, to be fair. But you know, just me. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I appreciate the effort. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, of course. Omar's question is: are we going to be playing some Jackbox? It's not today. However, I'm going to let Andy just do a cheap plug for tomorrow.
Right. My stream is here tomorrow.
That's the plug. Make sure you're there. 4 p.m. GMT.
Right.
If you're not there, you're not supporting the streamer, right?
GMT or You could just be 1 hour late if you want.
Oh, was it 3 p.m.? When did you change it?
3 p.m. UK time.
Oh, so it was never. Oh, I always thought it was 4 o'clock.
I mean, that was like in 2020 or something.
Ah, right. So
Yeah.
why did you change from 4 o'clock to 3 o'clock then, Andy?
Oh, very specific question. There it is.
Yeah.
Because it's I stream on Sundays, and I would like to be able to get up for a reasonable time on Mondays, so I did 1 hour early.
Yeah.
Very interesting answer.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have made comments on the nostalgia of reminiscing on these old streamers. So obviously, Grod saw Joshy JJ the other day for the first time. Did you ever meet Josh? You did meet Josh, didn't you, once?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, yeah, you did. See, I met him and took him to the pub.
Right.
You know,
Not to Nando's?
no, because it was late at night, and we didn't go to Nando's. I don't know why we didn't go to Nando's, to be honest. It was like this space of like 3 weeks where I met streamers, and then I think I met him like the week after I met you and Wilco. That was
okay.
yeah. So
I just want to say, Copper and everyone else in the chat, it is the case that all my emotes have glasses.
that's because he's a streamer, right? So
because I wear glasses.
Yeah, definitely. Right, so I'm just scrolling through these questions. So
I can see Andy as a radio host. You're listening to Danish Midnight. Enjoy the lovely sax music. Let's see if I can give you that right now. Lovely saxophone music. I don't know if is that even going through?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I can hear it. Yep.
Nice.
Yep,
Very
I
nice.
can. Yeah, no, yeah. Good. See, this is what the guest star or stream together does with. I like it. I like it. So
this is also the first time me testing out the audio from my fancy new mixer into like someone else's system and stuff.
I think it is. It's perfect. I mean, we've collabed before, and it's always been through Discord. So this is like the first time we've done it through stream together. And to be fair, I quite like it.
So welcome to Danish Midnight, and I hope that I will see you soon on Electricnet stream every Sunday, 3 p.m. UK time. And stick around for even more music.
Do you reckon you could have been like an adult late night talker? I'll be super vague with that question. Do you think do you think that you would be
Is
really?
That a thing you could be?
Do you reckon there's this show in the UK called Babe Station, and I reckon you'd be just the person.
What?
There's this thing called Babe Station. Don't Google it. You've probably got restrictions on the settings. But yeah, Babe Station would be these people that would call up. So they would call up the workers, and they would talk dirty. They would just talk filth, and sometimes they'd take their clothes off. And I think you'd be
Garbage disposal, trash cans, recycling centers, talking dirty.
Yeah.
It's funny how talking dirty and talking trash are so close to each other, but they're completely different.
Completely different. And obviously we've never seen what Andy's wearing underneath that t-shirt. Just saying.
You know what? Underneath my t-shirt, I'm shirtless.
He's naked. Or topless.
Yeah, underneath the top, I'm topless.
Yeah, exactly. That always used to be my favourite chat-up line. You got a nice top on, but it's not your favourite top. And someone will say, well, what's my favourite top? It's topless. It never works. Yeah, it never worked. It never worked. It's almost when I ask what their 5 favourite letters of the alphabet are. What's your 5 favourite letters of the alphabet?
Fielc.
Oh yeah, I mean that's only 4. No, that is 5, isn't it?
That is 5.
That is 5. Yeah, no, it is. Yeah. So
how about coolest response?
No. See, my 5 favorite letters.
You are something.
Yeah, it's Yeah, it's URAQT. Mm. We'll go.
Yeah.
I think we'll go back to the questions. So
Yeah, I think we
Laughter's
should.
asked, and I think you touched on it. Is you mentioned wanting to work as a radio host a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, do you think you would already be doing that if your current job didn't work out?
Potentially. I think it's like if I were to want to do it at any level, I think I could, but I like my current job better at this moment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's so right. I'm just going to see if I mean, probably missed a question. If I have, I do apologise. Um,
Just repost it. Repost all the questions. Just
Repost
start
all the
reposting
questions.
all of chat.
Yeah. Just questions for Mr. Net, none for me, please.
Everybody just, repost your last 5 messages.
Yeah, that's yeah. Copper's got another question
Oh no.
for Andy. If I mean, we're trying to find out about the stream, not these crazy ones, but
Yeah.
we're going to ask the question. If we're stranded on an island for about 64 days, and the
Yeah.
only entertainment that you could bring is an Imogen Dragons song, what song would you bring and why?
Should we just touch on how you pronounce imagine?
Imagine Dragons. Oh yeah, do you know why? Because it was. Is that anyway? We'll move on. Just answer the question. Just answer the question.
Sorry, I got so distracted I couldn't really. I don't know what the question was. Can you just ask it again?
I will repeat the question this once. So
Oh shit, Pula!
right, so we're stranded on island for about 64 days, and the only entertainment you could bring is an Imogen Dragon song. What song would you bring and why?
Imagine Dragon D's nuts.
So
It's just one song.
well,
Or,
apparently just one song. Actually, is it? It's a question. What would be an interesting question? Because you obviously now I've seen that you start now doing votes for what was the inspiration behind the songs, and you do the polls now, which is another really clever thing you've done. Is what was the thinking, and why did you want to do that? Just something different, or
so, which question should I answer first?
both of them? You can answer Copper's
So,
first.
rule number one for an interview: one question at a time, or I'm gonna get confused. But
Of
you know,
course.
this is a first show. It's fine. So,
Audio issues. That's why.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Imagine Dragon song, I would say it's time. That's my favorite. Yeah. The other one, how did I get inspired to do the karaoke stuff?
Yeah.
The answer is very simple. Skatari in chat. So we were doing Fielc, a game that with which you're very familiar,
I am.
and so we have another clever thing that I do that I totally stole from another streamer. We have a thing at the end of at the final round where people kind of like do bets on whether or not I'm able to get a majority of the questions about people right. Where the final round where there's two choices, where people sometimes abuse it to say they love people or whatever, and
Yeah.
then and then moving on, and then so Skatari bet that I would be able to get a majority of them right. And she said the reason why is because she gotta have faith, like a reference to George Michael.
Yeah.
And I just really love that so much, and I love that song so much, and I just love singing. So I was like, the next moment we had like a little break where nothing was really going on. I would be like, singing the George Michael karaoke. And then after that, I was surprised by the reaction that I didn't think it would necessarily be positive. And when it was, I was like, yeah, I've because I've for a while I've been looking at what can I do when there's a really long waiting time in a Jackbox game.
Yep.
Because
Hmm.
that's just like a you don't want to like that's just like a moment where it's kind of like difficult what to do. Um, I've got going for me that I'm usually behind in chat, so I can use it to read a lot of chat. And when I read a lot of chat, usually that means more people chat too, so it doesn't really stop. Um, but if it's late in the stream, I've usually caught up with chat at that time, and then I would find myself not really knowing what to do exactly. And I the last thing I want is for there to be silence because I want the stream to be going, you know. So I was like, I've got to find a thing that I can do when there's these like 2 3 minute long waits. And I've like looked at what other people do. Like some people I did this for a while. Like I pull up a Wordle or something like that, but it's just not really me. Like I don't really care that much about that stuff, and it shows. Like when you're a streamer, you need to like do stuff that you really care about because people can tell if you don't care about it.
Yep.
And I just found that the singing thing was going to be my thing because I really love singing. I really care about it. So, and what a perfect way to use the time because the songs usually last the 3 minutes, and the people in the game they don't really need to like see what's going on when they're like busy drawing or whatever or whatnot. So yeah,
Yeah, I agree with some of those things. I don't know whether you remember that I did something called the Posh Off, which was something that I decided to do. Something again, it
yeah.
was something to break the time and get some people on. And if people don't know, I know a few of you will remember about what the Posh Off was. Was I would always claim that I'm posh. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. So I would get
Oh, the
someone where,
truth is out.
uh, yeah. So and yeah, of course, right. And I used to get someone randomly on, and it was honestly about 6 months before I won one Posh Off,
Yeah.
and I was losing to people who are terrible humans. That's all I'm going to say.
Your boy Jack 03.
Exactly right, and you don't even understand what he's saying. That's the worst thing. You couldn't even understand. Like he was talking as if, like I barely heard him say hello, and I lost by the majority.
Mm.
And I
Yeah.
can't even remember who the person that I beat. But then it was, D, we're not talking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're only talking about it just as a thing for we're filling time. I don't want to open a can of worms of how I feel about it. And I did debate bringing it back, but I won't. But it is definitely
Yeah, we're
something that,
filling time, but not that much time.
mm, of course, right. But for
Hmm.
5 months, I was doing it almost every other stream, and I must have done a posh off against yourself, almost
Yeah,
certainly. Yeah,
definitely.
that's a loss for me as well. So
Yeah, I won.
yeah, of
Hmm.
course, that's not very
Yeah.
difficult anyway. So, but yeah, absolutely agree on the. It is hard, especially with some of the drawing ones. TKO is definitely one, especially the TKO two. It is you have to fill out that time.
Oh, I actually think it's better for TKO2 than it is for one because
Yeah,
one took ages, and they kind of made that a little bit better. But like the longest one is definitely, or at least these days, weapons drawn. That one
oh
takes
yeah, yeah,
forever.
yeah. No, agree.
Um, it's like what is it like 300 seconds, and that's one drawing, something like that.
Yeah, it
But
is. All right, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So cool. Anyway, we've got another question from one of our moderators, Ari Avo. Question for
Yay.
Andy. Hello, how you doing? Outside of Twitch, what are some of the activities that you enjoy? Any passion projects that you're working on right now?
The first question, I'm doing good, thank you, Ari. The second question, um, I enjoy a lot of things. So I on the reason why I one stream Tuesday, Thursdays, and then one during the weekend is that I would use to like do strength training workouts Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so that's like one of my main hobbies. I still do that Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And another thing that I enjoy a lot is coffee. I have bought a real Italian espresso machine just this week, and it's going to arrive next week, and it's very exciting. And I've been doing espressos with like some kind of like manual thing where you physically push the water through the very, very dense puck of like it's a puck shaped thing of ground coffee. And so that's what strength training was for. But now I can get a machine to do it for me, and it's going to be really delicious. And it's so cool to like be able to do cafe level quality coffee at home, and something I'm very passionate about. And then I love music. I have my piano here. I don't play it that well, as people will know, but I love listening to all kinds of music. I love singing, as you know, and I love sometimes plinking along on the piano while I'm playing something. And I even think I once uh, I have a guitar on the wall. I even think I once brought that on stream, and I want to do that more. It'll be fun.
That would be good. That would be good.
Yeah.
What's the go-to coffee then, Andy? What's your go? You're going to go to a coffee shop. What's your go-to coffee?
It depends how long I have to drink the coffee. Because if I have to I have to get energized quickly, I will order a flat white because that is always a double espresso shot, but it's a relatively small cup. It's got milk enough to like be in this cup. Um, so that's pretty quick to down. But then if I want to like stretch it quote unquote over a longer period of time, I will have one where it's like the same amount of espresso but more milk. Um, so that will basically stretch out the joy of drinking the coffee for longer. Like I might if I oh that's the other big hobby is doing coding, like doing software development. And if I'm doing that for a longer stretch of time, one of my favorite things I know is to like buy a latte drink that's like this tall. And so it's not because I have more coffee in it. I always go for like double espresso shot, which is usually coffee enough for most. But it stretches over a longer period of time, so I could just sit and enjoy it while like maybe it won't be maybe I won't have emptied it until like an hour or something like that. And I just really like the taste too of coffee, so just I'll be enjoying it for a whole hour while doing coding, listening to music, just being me, having fun.
And I hate coffee.
I'm so glad we could connect on this.
Oh, of course, that's it. I'm a tea man.
Yeah,
Yeah, a tea
I mean
man.
that's very UK of you.
Very UK. Yeah, but most of my
Mhm.
friends do like coffee though, to be honest. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, most of them
What
like the
what coffee do they go for?
always a latte. Always go latte.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, not for me. You know, I might have a mocha maybe, but even that,
Okay.
yeah, it's
What's
okay.
so
But
that coffee with a little bit of cocoa in, or like what?
yeah, a little bit of cocoa.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much. So next time we're in the UK, which we'll go
Hmm.
on to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Prof, by the way, hello.
Just that improv. How you doing? How you doing, my love? Right, so I think that's the question. Thank you, Copper,
The
for
questions
that.
are like kind of
And
like piling up in chat,
they
so
are piling
we're
up.
getting
So yeah, I
behind
think
at this
you're
point.
behind because I think I'm up to the bit where Paula went penis. So that's where we are. Um, Morgie is our next question. What's the hair care routine? You have got some epic hair though, sir.
That's a really good question because I have for people who don't know, I assume most people know by now because you're seeing it. But for people who don't know, I've my 2023 project was to grow out my hair and to grow it to be like long hair because I've wanted to get that Tarzan look, like the kind of like but blonde, obviously the kind of like long but not like super flat. So I'm usually dealing with I have very fine hair, so I'm usually dealing with it like being like just like falling down. And so the reason I say that is that hair care routines have actually changed a lot. Because like between short and long hair, because usually for the short hair I would have like some sort of mud wax, the matte, it's not too shiny, and you just kind of like rough it around, and I had like a side part over there. Now I've gone to the middle part because my hairline's receding over here on the edges, and so obviously you want to hide that from all your Twitch viewers.
I
um
don't know what you were trying to say there, sir.
uh-huh, yeah,
Uh,
I know.
yeah, that was offensive.
What?
Well,
What?
nothing.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so I always also wanted to do the long hair, and that's actually yeah, I know, Morgie. That's actually
No, yeah.
that so the hair care stuff is actually like when I got longer hair, I started actually like realizing shit, you have to like actually do more than just be like, oh, just got out of the shower, do some shampoo, just some wax, and that's the end of the day. Because if that's all you do when you have long hair, it starts looking like shit. And I'm only saying that because I know I've got permission to like say a word like that, but I mean it. So I've done various things, but like I have a shampoo, but I don't use it all the time because if you do, that's not good for the hair. Um, and obviously, I have conditioner as well, which I didn't used to have when it was short, but now I kind of need to have it. And obviously, you don't want to have like conditioner up here at the roots, you want to have it down here. And then I have a special leave in, actually, like two different leave in products to prevent frizzy hair. So, it doesn't look super duper messy. Um, and then I have what I found out was like it's like an American product, which is kind of like a new thing. It's so mysterious that they don't want to like tell you what kind of a product it is because it's its own type. It's brand new, but it's called Modern Mammals, which is kind of like, and I'm not sponsored or anything like that.
I feel like this
I
is one
can't
big
be
sponsor at the
sponsored,
moment. This is one
but
big sponsor. Yeah.
I'm not. So this is just something that I've tried. But basically, it's something you use instead of shampoo and conditioner. And now that I'm not sponsored, I will say it only kind of works. But yeah, that's the routine. And then I make sure not to shampoo more than like two, maximum three times per week. Mhm.
It's just a
Hope
week.
that's a good answer
It's
for
just a
you.
week. But that was a big sponsorship for L'Oreal. If you've not seen him, Electricnet's worth it. So, anyway, I feel like yeah, we are quite behind on chat, aren't we? So apologies about that.
I'm used
Um,
to that.
yeah, we've got a message from Game Cray, and he's asked, "Is what's your best Jackbox game you'd like to stream?" Or is there a difference between your best Jackbox game and the best Jackbox games to stream? Because I've got two different answers as well for how I feel about it.
So that's a two-pronged question,
Yeah,
right?
so what
It's
game do
Roderick
you like to
Nordic.
play, and what game do you like? What's your
Okay,
favorite one, and what's your
right.
favorite one to stream?
My favorite one to play is definitely True Murder Party 2.
Yeah,
There's no question about it. And that's because it's the one I win the most
that is true.
out of all of them. And because it's just the one that I've played the most. And also because I still feel like that's the game where they put in the most efforts. Like there are so many like secret things in there.
Yeah,
Like so many different things that's like that feels like they spent so much time on that game, and that's why I'm not sure how they can ever make a 3, like they would have to like go absolutely crazy. And my favorite one to stream, I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate streaming TMP2. That's still amazing. um Favorite one to stream, um it's difficult because there's so many ones that are like fun to stream. But it's probably, especially when now we've got a modded version, especially because of that, it's probably earwax.
oh, there's a modded version. I don't know anything. Tell me a bit more about this modded
Yeah, we
version.
have a
No.
modded version courtesy of the wonderful this boy Chris,
Yeah.
who had too much time on his hands, I think,
So,
and just added a bunch of interesting extra sounds in there. And that's sometimes to the chagrin of some of the people watching, but I love it very much. And so the thing is, usually, like, when there's a game that I like to stream, it's because I can add like, I mean, as Jackbox streamers, you always add a little bit more of an extra layer on top of the game, but like even more. And during earwax, I feel like facial expressions of the streamer is like a big thing, and that makes a big difference, and that's fun.
exactly. Well, yeah, for me, as they say it's for both of us. So for me, yeah, it's very different because obviously everyone knows on my channel I like push the button. I mean, Push the Button is one of those games. It's a version of Among Us, and it was before Among Us was Among Us, to be honest. So,
Hmm.
I generally I love playing it more than I like streaming it. And for me, one of the best ones to stream is EAY. I've always liked EAY because for me, I learn about you guys more. I always find out something completely random or something, especially near the end of, you know, what's the truth and what's the lie. And we still have people still to this day that put the wrong ones in the wrong order. It's always frustrating, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's certain games, but it's just like anything of preference. I used to love Talking Points. Talking Points used to be one of those games where I used to really love. If you had the right group of people, it was
Yeah,
brilliant.
true.
It
I
was
thought your favorite one was faking it.
no, that's what my sister likes. My sister,
Oh, we
Ellie.
have a shout out to Ellie in the chat.
Yeah, who again streamed for a little bit as well. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, so it was one. Yeah, it was Talking Points, and yeah, more recently I do like the Wheel of Enormous Proportions. I do like that. That is a really good one because it can be quite controversial. We got it down to the will, and I think we got it down to there was only like one slice left of a winner
Right on the winner wheel.
on the winner wheel, right? And
Yeah.
I've never seen it before. That you only had two slots, and somehow they got the wrong. Like it was one of the best games I've ever seen.
That is fun.
Yeah, that is a really really good game. So, but we could be
Yeah.
here forever talking about all the good games. So, but we'll move
Yeah.
on to another. Pula's got a question for both of us. She goes,
Right.
question for both of us. In a sense that it was semi-answered, what are the things you can go to or look to see inspiration on how to keep the chat alive? So I think obviously you mentioned about those breaks, and I think it is, and it was, and if I'll start on this one because I've when I started streaming, I was happy when there was only 3 people streaming, so it was even I even
Three
like
people viewing or
3
streaming?
people viewing. So
Right.
I have 3 viewers. So I have 3 viewers,
Hmm.
and at the point when I first started, I don't think I've ever really spoke about this. I let the trolls in. They were never terrible. They never were breaking terms of service, but trolls were. It was just because it was just engagement and
Mm.
that and it was just engaged, and then it grew from 3 to 10 and 10 to 20. So I think a peak my peak was like 50, which was for me quite a good achievement. That's what you're doing
Mm.
at the moment as well. So it's really good. So someone like for me an inspiration and is Tipsy Toon. I think is the sometimes I just in his stream and all I'm doing is I was just learning from him.
Yeah.
All I
That
was
makes
doing
sense.
I was on chat. I've never played a Jackbox game on Tipsy stream ever, but I will just go and all he'll do is he'll just be himself, and that's kind of like he'll do that. And one of the hardest things for him, and I give kudos, he'll never miss a message.
I
I,
disagree with that. He
he's
misses
never
all
missed a message when
the
I've sent one. Maybe his
Okay.
favoritism. Maybe never know. But on the whole, he's pretty good. On the whole,
Right.
you
Right.
know.
No, yeah, definitely. I think that on that point, I think that I am often, like I wouldn't say made fun of, but like people crack jokes about, I'm behind in chat and whatnot.
Mhm.
But I actually I actually see it as kind of like a something that I'm proud about in a sense because I actually like genuinely try my best to read every message, and the reason why it's like that because I've been in chat like wanting to like have something read and not having it read. It's also like a thing that you have to be good as a viewer and just like by extension as a person in general uh to like know when the moment's over. Like I want to like be fun and like be part of a fun moment, but also be able to realize that if the streamer didn't read it and it's like 5 minutes later, probably doesn't matter that much anymore.
Thank you, Lucy, for the 20 bits. Appreciate it.
So I think that's why I'm like, because I've been there as a viewer, someone who's very like passionate in chat. That's why I want to try to read everything. But yeah, so coming back to the question, I think that I'm not sure if I know if there is one answer and if I know it. The best thing that I know is to like keep chat going, is to, it sounds kind of like silly, but is to make sure that there's always like interesting content. Like, it sounds like, duh, I'll just create content, right? Like, it sounds like that's just making it easy. But I definitely feel like I can't just like sit there and be like, oh, so, how's your day been? Or like, talk more or something like that. But like the moment that we have interesting stuff happen in chat, like that naturally like spurs off like other conversations or thoughts or something like that. But then I've also just been very lucky that I the people who seem to like come to my stream is that there are a lot of people who are there to like chat and be part of the community. I don't know if you've like ever noticed, if you've like been on some bigger streams that might have like hundreds of viewers and a very quiet chat. Like it's just
Yeah.
like that doesn't necessarily, like, if your number and activity in chat doesn't necessarily correlate. And again, that's like a point where I take pride in being behind in chat, because it means people are social and active and talking. And it's a good problem to have, to be behind in chat. So the reason why I also say that I'm not sure that I know the answer to the question is because I am super, super hella lucky that there are people who not only talk, like Copper says, I can never shut up. Like, people who not only like talk a lot so that I have to catch up, but I'm also very privileged to have, like, even before I've pressed start stream, and this is also because it helps me that I have a very specific stream time, uh, very, very consistent. But that means that even before I press start stream, there are people in chat just hanging out talking. And I just every time I just can't believe it. And I just feel I'm very, very lucky about that. And I'm very, very happy. Like, the community that we have in the community games community, one of the best, one of the best communities, I'm telling you. And people are just so awesome, and they just like, they care about each other, they care about having fun. And I realize this is just becoming me pandering to the audience, but like, I don't have to know so much about how to keep the chat going, because you guys do it and you're just, you know, fucking awesome.
And I have to echo that, to be honest, as most of you know, for me, that I was off for like over a year.
Mm.
And I've got a child and a full time job. It's the reason why I came back and wanted to do this show, wanted to do this, is that I generally missed you guys. Let's take away
Yeah.
all the filthy stuff and that's the banter, etc. Is that you guys as the community, the Jackbox community, was always, it's just freaking fun. It's just fun.
Mm.
I've just enjoyed every bit, all the banter, all of you guys, and especially when there's trolls, it's actually a coming together. We're almost learning all together of like, okay, that's not acceptable, or
Yeah.
let's get rid of them, or straight away they're on top of it. If something like you've missed something, or you're engaged in chat and not seeing something that's happened maybe on the Jackbox game, your chat will make you aware ASAP.
Yeah.
And that's what it's like, that everyone who's been there from day one to even the people who have only followed like today. I love all you guys. That's and we love you. We appreciate. We've got a lot of crossover, me and Electricnet, of viewers,
Mm.
mainly from Electricnet. But we're I'm proud of him, and I'm proud that we've got a collaboration. That there's people that, when so many streamers left, that there was people like him, people like Tipsy, who continue playing Jackbox. And you know, I know if I went to have a game of Jackbox, I could go on Electricnet stream. Only on a Sunday, of
Since
course.
we're so wholesome and honest here
I
now,
feel like it is.
can
Yeah.
I just say something honest?
Go for
And
it.
that is, for the past, I want to say, like, even since 2021, like since COVID ended and like since the restrictions ended and stuff like that, I've always thought and like hold on to this because it's getting good at the end. But I've always thought that this streaming thing was like a temporary thing, and once everything opened up and like I don't have to do any this anymore, I wouldn't be doing it. And like
Yeah.
pretty much all the times, or at least the first couple times that I went to like have a big event, like I have a 12-hour stream or like go have a collab stream with someone in the US, which I've done several times, I pretty much always had in the back of my mind that this could be a good time to like retire the streaming thing for now and like leave it and do other stuff. And I've always thought like, that's probably what I'm going to do. That makes sense. But and like even like going to like one stream a week, I'm like, it's just part of a slow fade out, and then at some point I'll stop doing it. But it really speaks to what we were just talking about, how awesome this place is and like how much fun it is to hang out with you guys, that I've never been able to do it. Like I've been thinking about stopping doing streams for a while now. I've never been able to do it. Like when it comes down to it, I can't. You guys rock too much. And I want to like be clear and say, when I say for a while now, it's like it's thoughts I had for like maybe 3 years ago or something like that.
I remember the conversation. I remember the conversations that we had. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that now. I don't think it will stop. Like I think where I'm at right now, and I also see myself as being super, super ridiculously privileged, too, because we all know streaming is kind of like an endurance sport. I feel super privileged that I can stream only one time a week, and I still have this wonderful group of people that comes back. And it's not like I'm only streaming for the same 10 people, because I actually do get new people following. And every time that happens, I wonder what they think, that they follow someone and then they're like, oh, they don't stream until next week. Well, I don't think people aren't used to that. But it actually does happen. And I can't believe it. I feel very privileged, and that's why I feel like I can keep going with one stream a week, and because that's what works well for me right now in my schedule. So I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna keep doing that.
Yeah, I agree. And same for me as well. I've gone to 1 day a week, even though I've got one for tomorrow as well. But it is surprising that everyone's there, right? Every Tuesday, this is the same people who are always there. They're supporting there, and it really does work. You're very clear. This is what I'm doing. Same people are there, and I love you all for it. Tomorrow's stream will be a bit,
sure.
Tomorrow's stream will be a little bit different. I think I know who I think I'm going to be raiding as well tomorrow, but I have to see whether they're live or not. Yeah, maybe.
Or there's never any good people live on Sundays.
Oh God, no! Yeah, exactly.
That's the other thing, by the way. Like when I started, and that's also if there's like any prospective like streamers out there who like wants tips or anything like that. I'm not sure if I'm like making things up that people want tips from me, but really find like your time every week and find like a good time that's when like you don't have a lot of competition, quote unquote. So like, not that this is like supposed to be like we're not businesses and we're not competing in that sense, but I very specifically remember that I made sure in my streaming schedule to not stream Jackbox on Wednesdays, because that was the day that Tipsy was streaming Jackbox earlier in the day, and to put a stream that started an hour before yours finished. Oh, Fielc's stream is ending and I'm just getting started.
I remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
So definitely, because I still see, and I fucking love the new streamers. And that's also another reason why I couldn't leave Twitch, is that even though that it's not 2020 anymore, new cool streamers in our community still keep popping up, and I love supporting them, and I love and I hope you guys will too. But like, I still see some of them stream at the same time as some of the big names, and I'm like, damn it, Should have picked a different time, right?
I agree.
Hmm?
I didn't think of that to be fair, on Tuesday, but yeah, it's what it is, right?
It works.
Yeah. Right, right. If I have missed any questions, I do apologise. Someone's asking about if we prefer the Tom and Jerry movie from 2021 to the new Space Jam movie. I don't know. I've never seen the 2021 Tom and Jerry movie, but I have seen the new Space Jam movie.
I have seen neither of them.
No, so probably not the best one, but I do agree that Space Jam was not good.
Yeah. Poor LeBron.
There was a scene, and it's not. I'm not going to
Or is
spoil.
that the reason why it was bad? Am I saying something wrong?
No, no, there was a scene. There was a scene where I was losing hope. I was with my friend in the cinema, and it's the classic thing. It's the same premise as the first Space Jam, where the first half has gone, and they're losing embarrassing. They're losing by a lot, right? And
Yeah.
then there was a bit where they said, right,
And then they drink performance-enhancing drugs.
no,
and then win.
they said, right, we've got this guy, we've got Michael Jordan, and my eyes there, I thought, oh my god, Michael Jordan and LeBron James are gonna be face to face. Michael Jordan's coming back for this film, and I was so excited. I remember my popcorn went up because it wasn't Michael Jordan; it was the actor Michael B. Jordan. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my.
They must have done that on purpose.
Yes, they did, and I was so like, oh no. So that's not spoiling the film, and I want to end how it ends, but so. Um,
Wow.
Quick fire question, hypothetical for Andy: would you ever let your beard grow? That was from Laughter. Hypothetical question.
Oh, and Lafta's gone to eat dinner now.
Yeah.
Terrible timing.
Yeah.
I have, and I did that during COVID actually, but before I started streaming.
I don't ever remember you with a beard, ever.
No, so yeah, it's before I started streaming, and I'm not sure I like the look. I also think that I'm not sure if I'll ever have like a full mustache situation. Most of my beard is here, and everything here is just kind of patchy, and I don't know. I don't like the look of looking like some of the hairs have been pulled out, whatever.
I feel like I need to see a photo of this. It will probably look. I think you look like a better version of Jesus.
I mean, I didn't have long hair back then.
Oh,
So,
well,
yeah.
that's that. If you combine the two, hypothetically
Yeah.
speaking, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Oh, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
right, of course, right? So,
But I think I also like the way that without a beard, it looks like, because at a certain age, you just start holding on to whatever bits of youth you have left, and I feel like not having a beard makes me look younger. So
I don't. I've only never had a beard. Like, I got rid of my beard when I had my thyroid operation in November. It's the only time in 7 years that I've actually got rid of the beard, and I absolutely hated it.
that's because you're not used to it.
Yeah, I felt like I was like. I mean, I look younger by about 6 months. Didn't even make me look younger. So it was just,
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I do love my beard. It's just got a bit grey now, but that's because I'm old. So, what's Morgie's asked? What's your opinion on the worst Jackbox game? This is an opinion from Morgie. Monster Seeking Monster.
So Morgie's not asking what I think my worst Jackbox game is.
No, but we'll put that as a two-parter then. It's always hard to.
So the question is, what's my opinion on Monster Seeking Monster?
Yeah, we'll leave it as that. Yeah, we'll leave it.
I love it. It's not the worst Jackbox game.
What is the worst Jackbox game?
The worst Jackbox game is. Am I allowed to count games in Party Pack 1? Because it's kind of a cheat to say words, but because it doesn't really count. It's like they didn't really know what they were doing.
I didn't mind words, but
I mean, it's fun when the only thing you do is just, ride penis the whole time.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I think genuinely Zeeble Dome is puzzling me, and not just because of the stream. Like, it doesn't make sense to stream, obviously,
Yeah.
but it's also just because, like, even if you're not streaming, like, if you're playing it, the way they kind of made the narrator in the game, let's call them that, the way they've made that with, like, it's kind of like a little bit low in the audio mix, and there's so much delay on it, you can barely tell what they're saying, and it's just not a good vibe to not be able to hear what the game's trying to tell you. And they also, like, they talk like this, and like, it's all seems super condescending and, like, difficult to figure out. I just think that's a miss. um if if they had subtitles at the time and you could put that on, I could kind of defend that. But the way it is, and they don't even have that, it's just like, I don't really know what they were thinking. There should have been like a mode to have like it, you can turn it on, you'd be actually able to understand what the game's trying to tell you. Yeah.
I have to agree with Zeeble Dome. I have to, yeah. It's one of the games that I've just never really understood. But speaking
Yeah,
of,
see, ASK, this is what people usually say that is better as a non-streamer game, but like even then, it's like, I don't understand what the speaker in the game is trying to say. Like, it's so hard to play when you don't when you just can't, like, that's the other thing, gamer. There's just so much noise in there. It's like,
yeah,
I appreciate what they were trying to do, but I feel like it's not fully there. It feels half-baked.
yeah, yeah. I'll tell you what's an underrated game, and I wish I could stream it. Is Bomb Corp. I used to love playing Bomb Corp with my friends. It was one of the games,
That's
apart
fun.
from Quiplash.
I like Bomb Corp,
Bomb Corp
but it
is
also helped that it also helped that they made it easier. Like, they
Yeah.
actually did an update to an age-old game where they made it a less completely difficult to play. And that's what they should, like, they should not be afraid to update some of the older games.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I think, like, they've announced that there won't be a Party Pack 11 this year. It'll be next year.
Yeah.
I don't know if they announced exactly what they're going to do, but it would be so awesome if what they did was, like, to go back and do maintenance on the older games and, like, make them better. Like, if they could add subtitles and kicking to every game, it would be amazing.
Yeah, of course. One of the things they definitely did do that was really good was the moderation stuff.
Right.
That definitely does help. So yeah, they've done these little things where they put drawful one was drawful one on Party Pack 2 or 1? Was Party Pack 1 drawful?
Mm-hmm.
It was, wasn't it?
I mean, we always play Drawful 2 now.
Yeah, Drawful 2 isn't actually part of the Party Packs. So
right.
I'm wondering whether they've got something in mind for that this year. I don't know what they've got plans for.
Might be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't aware of Jackbox when Drawful 2 was released. That's a little before my time, but
yeah.
I was always assuming that what they learned from that is that, yeah, releasing them solo doesn't really work for them.
No, I don't think so. But I do really like Drawful 2, though, to be honest. I think it's... yeah, and I hate drawing games, as people know on my channel. But move on. So, Siva has asked, what's your favourite non-Jackbox game?
My favorite game ever is Roller Coaster Tycoon 2.
Oh.
End of story. Because I can be creative and play a game at the same time.
I used to play,
QOL means quality of life, HJ.
Yeah, I used to play a game called Theme Park, which was on the Mega Drive, so Genesis.
Oh,
and that
okay.
that was that was good. It's just being super creative, isn't it? Of creating your own.
Yeah, I remember, like, I was like sitting there at like 12 or 13 years old playing Roller Coaster Tycoon on like an old computer back when they had monitors that weren't thin. You know, it actually was this deep.
Or Windows 97 or something, right?
98.
Yeah, 98. Apologies, right? You know, how dare I say that? How dare I say that?
Getting cancelled at this moment.
Yeah. So, right. Prof says that she's upset I don't have a push the button emote. It's not.
I mean, you have the alien emote. That's a push the button emote, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah, of course. And I've got the stream elements, commands and that, so that no one really benefits. Because it says of the last stream I've only been alien 26 times since I've streamed. I'll take that.
Yeah.
So that was only from last week. So um, Dee's got an interesting question for us. Question for both of us. What's your most cherished memory together? And that's actually quite interesting because that will actually bring on something that we haven't really spoke about, which is obviously me and Electricnet have actually met in person with Wilco. That was it was the three of us that and we did do a stream. It was, I would say, that was one of I would say of our cherished memory. It sounds like we've been in some long term
I
relationship.
want to ask, does it count that I was not part of the situation, but like, what's my favorite Fielc moment?
Can do, yeah.
I don't know if that counts because, and you probably know what I'm gonna be going for. Maybe
I don't
you
know. No, actually, I generally don't know what's your favorite thing.
My favorite Fielc moment is, and I'm sure there's a clip of it somewhere. There must be. Is Fielc on Ian's of Ian stream playing Jeopardy, and totally flubbing a percentage question.
There is a clip,
and everyone, I think. I might even have been in like a voice chat with someone else from the Fielc community, like a bunch of other people, and we were just like, "What the hell just happened?"
I think I've got this clip. Let's see if I can play it.
Fielc on Jeopardy.
Yeah, it was on Jeopardy, and the clip that I've got, I think it's on my YouTube channel. It was very specific of. I don't even want to talk about it, but it's on there because I was so confident.
Yeah, it was misplaced confidence. You were very confident, but you'd misunderstood the question.
Yeah, so no, that wasn't the question, Andy. So that wasn't. It was what's your most cherished memory together.
Right.
And you weren't there, so that doesn't count.
You have a go then.
I already have. So we met, and we obviously we had the best Nando's.
Oh, is it the London day?
The London thing we went. And we went to the pub.
I mean, that's the only time that we've been together, so that could be a cherished moment.
We've done collabs, and
right.
We've spoken over the phone. Maybe
It's not very specific, is it?
No. Well, no, because I can't remember all the specific conversations we had.
No, me neither. That's the thing.
No. So, but yeah, I definitely think when we met, it was it was a really fun day. With your selfie stick going all around London. I felt like I was watching an episode of Friends or something. It was pretty good. How you kept connection was pretty impressive as well. So.
Yeah.
So that's
and Wilco was riding on a boat.
Yeah.
That's a moment.
That was a. Yeah.
Most cherished moment. Yeah. All right. Next question.
Yeah. Next question. I'm just trying to find it because obviously now people are saying there's ads or no, I'm behind. So apologies. Yeah. Apologies. So
imagine being behind in chat.
Imagine. I don't want to miss any, so apologies if I've missed
just
any.
Repost your question if you have one. Right?
Yeah, if you do have one. So, what was the reason you did go down from 3 days a week? Because obviously you were doing 3 days. I mean, was it just a simple answer as work commitments going into the office and?
No, it was just like I wanted to be able to do more in the evenings, and at that time. I was even streaming 4 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and that was because it was COVID, and so to put it in a British term, you had fuck all to do, so might as well, right? You're just sitting there, might as well have some fun with some friends, and so that was not sustainable, not even in the slightest. And so so the reason I also really like streaming is that obviously I like the whole thing of like communicating, broadcasting, call it what you want. And I've been doing podcasts and like radio shows and stuff like that before then. And streaming compared to that, streaming is very time consuming because it's, and I always tell this to like people, like it's most viewers, they don't consider it an actual, well, maybe not most viewers, but a lot of viewers don't consider it an actual stream unless it's been 6 hours long, right? Or at least there are streamers that do streams like that, and then they do a 4 hour stream and they say, "Oh, I'm sorry for the short stream," right? Um, Streaming takes a lot of time. Like I was used to like doing a podcast. Granted, I did a podcast every other week. I could have done a podcast episode every week, but still, it's like, you know, a podcast episode takes about an hour. Maybe this one will be long, take 2 hours. The end of that.
Mhm.
And then, you know, if you've done your job poorly, maybe you'll spend a lot of time like, you know, cutting and pasting it, making it sound good, doing some after work and stuff like that. But still, that'll be like maximum of 4 hours of work. Maybe you had some work preparing the podcast and like what you were going to talk about and stuff like that. But compared to that, like if if you wanted to like stream and like do it at a quote unquote high level or whatever you want to call it, like you would have to be, as you say it yourself, you have to be like tipsy, and you would have to like stream many times a week. And suddenly, like it is like, not, I'm not here to like cry about like, you know, it being a full-time job, but it is like a full-time job, right? So
Mhm.
it's not like the only reason I streamed 4 times, so 4 days a week, is because I didn't have anything to do. And my calendar was such that I had a commitment every single day after work, and I had a stream every weekend. I had 2 streams every weekend, so every day during the weekend, because I was doing my workouts Monday, Wednesday, Friday, straight streaming Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and that's all the days that were in the week. And so no one can keep that up, and I certainly couldn't keep that up. And I was very afraid of like streaming only once a week because I didn't really know of anyone who did that. And I'm like, so that's the other thing about being a streamer, um, that I've seen in other people, that they might be like a little bit, um, I don't know if insecure is the right way, or worried, but like a little bit worried that, you know, if I stop doing this, or if I don't do enough, people will leave, or they're like, you know, not care anymore. Um, and I guess there was a little bit of that thought, but as we, you know, we've already been through, people here rock, and they just show up and they just hang out, even if it's just once a week, and I love them for that. I've heard it being said about my stream is that I don't stream very often, only once a week, but when I do, it's a party every time, and that's kind of what I'm going for, you know. And so the reason I do that is because I can, it's kind of like the commitment level of time when you do like a weekly podcast. That's kind of the time commitment level. And I can do that and still work on my, because I do have tons of other hobbies. And that's the thing, is that I just like, I still love doing this. So I wouldn't, even though I thought about stopping, I am not going to, because it's so much fun. But I do have so many other hobbies that that's the only thing I can do is once a week.
Yeah, no, I echo that. I mean, I I would say I had a full time job on doing another full time job when during COVID. You know, my schedule was, and I don't think I've really ever really spoke about this, is that my work job was 8:30 till 5:30. That was a Monday to Friday job, 8:30 to 5:30, and then I was used to stream for 4 hours every day,
Mm,
barring
yeah.
Thursday. So I used to do 6 days a week. And I used to do 6 till 10. So in that half hour, that gives me time to shower and get ready, put the baseball cap on, etc., and then do that. And I did that for, I mean, I can't even remember how long. I must have done that for like 18 months, and I still look back and I don't know how I did it. Um, but
Yeah,
it,
it was an endurance sport, right?
yeah, it was. But I was exactly the same how you felt. Is I felt a bit like if I stopped doing it or I'd reduced it, that I would have not got the same. People just wouldn't come back. I wouldn't be able to grow my channel. That was literally what I was thinking about at the
And
time.
thankfully, that's not true, right?
No, I don't. I don't think so. No, I don't believe so. Yes, of course, if you stream more, you're open to other people and engaging with different people, of course.
Mm,
But also, at the same time, the reasons for me streaming is very similar to yours. Is it's just I'm not here because I want people to give me 10, 20 subs. I'm here to have a laugh. It's you kind of just with your friends, and if there's 10 people in, 20 people, 50 people, for
Yeah.
me, as long as we're all having a good time and having a good time, having a laugh, that's all I care about, really, to be honest. And
Hmm.
yeah, that's why we're still here. Even though I've only just recently come back, but it's right. You've been so consistent. You've since you've started streaming, you haven't had a break.
It's not true, but
That's
like
not
not an
true, but
extended one.
not an you have been off a little bit, but not extended,
Yeah,
should we
because
say? So,
like everyone takes breaks.
of course, you have
That's how it works.
vacations, or
Yeah, exactly.
you're working, have commitments, and that. So, of course,
Mhm.
yeah. Um, lots of questions about why do you like curry? Do you like a good curry? And
Sure.
would you prefer? Because see, it's very weird in the UK. Is that I prefer going to a restaurant for a curry than
Are we
having it.
scraping the bottom of the question barrel now?
It's probably because I missed them, to be honest. So, but I've got plenty of other questions. Don't you worry. So I just
Oh,
for,
great.
yeah, of course. So
Starting to wonder if my long-winded answers are boring people at this stage. All right,
uh,
let's throw a curry question.
maybe definitely. So no, I prefer.
Maybe
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. Now I feel like you've interrupted my curry answer, but I
Oh, I'm
prefer.
sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't realize it was a question for the streamer. I'm sorry.
No, apologies. So I just realised that it's all about Electricnet. So you know,
Hmm.
So but yeah, is there? Would you say there's a streamer that's not streaming that you miss? You know that.
For the record, I do like curry, but I'm also not that good at spicy food, so we will have to like, we'll
But
have to
then
combine it with
but then
something.
to be fair, we went to Nando's, and I think you tried every flavor, right, including the extra hot.
Right. So we don't talk about that often enough because I'm like,
Yeah.
I never understood why it didn't really hit me those strong flavors.
I don't even know because those extra ones I couldn't do. There's only like a couple of them in Nando's. And I'm not very good with spices anyway, to be honest. But I feel like we get
Like
more
I never understood what happened there because I am genuinely not very good with spices, but that day maybe I was just like,
maybe just embracing.
I've no idea. I've honestly no idea what's going on, to be honest.
No, I feel like now we speak about curry and chat's gone more lively ever since we started talking about curry than anything we spoke about streaming. So I think maybe
Shut it.
we've got the wrong,
We got the wrong angle to this.
I think so. We should have been talking about curry.
Do you
But
have the aviator sunglasses Gray Sofa used to wear? You just like spice up the interview?
no, I don't. I'm afraid. I'm
You
afraid.
should
No,
you should get it.
no. But we've only got about 10 minutes left. But I do want to ask because one of the
Mhm.
prominent things on your thing is how did the banana thing start? Andy and a banana.
It's actually very simple, and that is when I started streaming. So again, strength training is one of my hobbies, and when I started streaming, I wanted to like gain in weight a little bit, and so 4 hours without eating anything was kind of like it's almost like I'd never heard about that before. Like I was always eating a little bit to gain a little bit of weight. And so I feel like what can I eat on stream that doesn't, disrupt too much is maybe not the right word, but you know what I mean? Like it's not too weird. Some people see eating as banana as weird, I guess.
Well,
But
clearly.
um so I thought that could work, and then I wanted to like make a game out of it. Because why not?
Well, it worked, didn't
That's the
it?
story.
Because you got an emote just for
Yeah.
bananas. Yeah, I mean that's.
Yeah, I mean, because shut it, HJ. I know. But like if if you want to have good emotes, you want to have emotes of things that are like your thing. Like everyone can have like I'm a derp face emote or whatever. But like things that are like something that is very you, and I feel like, oh, okay, so eating a banana on stream is one of the things that I'm going to be doing. So I, you know, great idea to have an emote of that, just like we have the saxophone emote and the yelling emote, stuff like that, the earwax emote, all these things.
You got to have the emotes. I mean, I've got an alien one, got a Christmas one that we don't talk about enough. But it's weird because
I mean, for you, the alien emote is the one that fits your character the
it
most,
fits
right?
the character, but the Christmas one, I now keep it just on purpose because for some reason it's
To piss people off.
yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to piss people off. Yeah, of course.
Bye, Trey.
Trey, it's been good seeing you, my friend. And thank you for everyone who's here on the first edition. Who we're gonna have on next? I don't know. I don't know if we can top this one. We'll just be talking about curry because that seems to be all we're talking about, right? So, but we
So everybody vote for a guest that would be nice to have on with the topic being curry.
yeah, definitely. So, but yeah, I just want to say, as we are coming wrapping up, I just want to say it's been quite nice just catching up. I do generally feel like I do miss talking to you, and I feel like this was actually just a good excuse just to catch up.
Wow.
I feel like Fielc is the impact. How's the love life going, Electricnet? Just you've got to bring it into end the stream. Is Andy in love? Has he got time for love?
I'm so happy you answered this question or asked this question that I am going to answer because I don't have a lot going for me in terms of love life, and I have had some thoughts recently that I have learned well, relatively, not like just now, but like over the past couple of years, I've learned a word, and it's one that my viewer and friend Copperbite is using a lot, and that is aromantic. And I feel like I might be on the spectrum of aromantic aromanticism question mark because I have immense difficulty at getting any sort of like romantic feelings towards anyone. Um, and that might be, a reason why it's kind of like difficult for me to like get into the love life. Not only am I feeling that way, but I'm also like, I can never know how other people feel, but I have a feeling that I might be like less interested in it than other people are. And whenever actually end up going on a date, I just feel like I don't know how to do any flirting. I don't know how any of that works. I'm still like wondering if that's me or if that's not me, but it's something that, I'm kind of dealing with. And then over the past almost a year, I've been dealing with some kind of like I had a diagnosis that I found out that I have OCD, and it makes a lot of sense in like in my life and the things that I'm dealing with that's an anxiety disorder and stuff like that. And so for the past year or so, I've really just been focusing on myself, and hopefully I can get out there because I do want to be like you one day. I do want, hopefully sooner rather than later, to find someone to, be with and, have a family, get a kid and stuff like that. And I hope that I'm able to do that. But right now, the path seems kind of murky, but hopefully I'll be able to figure it out someday.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's a lot of stuff people are relating to in terms of what you're saying. So that's you know, really, really good, and thank you for being so honest. I think for me, for you, I think that you're a fantastic guy. Anyone would be lucky to have you, right? So you are, because I always
Oh,
say,
thank you. I know that part.
I know, and this isn't me flirting or anything, because you see my flirting, it's not great, is it? So,
and I'm not very good at telling when people are flirting either. Apparently.
no, not really, right? So, if I could rearrange the alphabet,
How do
you
you
and I,
know that? How do you agree with that?
no, I'm just agreeing, whatever, So, but a lot of people are relating. So ultimately, a lot of people struggle with confidence, and I've known when people approach me and that. And for me as a confident, and bear in mind as people know about me, as I was a dating relationship expert for 5 years back in the day. So
All
you know,
right. Oh,
yeah,
hey, I should have you on speed dial
yeah.
for this
So
though then.
so my
Because
first,
I still
yeah,
I'm like swimming in the area where I don't know if this is like a label that makes sense to put on me or if I'm really just living through what 60 to 80% of people are living through and it's just kind of normal to be, not know about these things until it happens. I don't know.
it. Uh, it's always a difficult one because it's always for every individual. It's all the classic one where people can use is you just haven't met the right person, because
Yeah.
that's the standard thing. Well, it's because I'm not attracted to anyone because you haven't met the right person, right? But there
Mm,
might be something more underlining. Some people have very got low self esteem. Oh, what happens? What's the feeling I get of when I like someone? Is this normal? How do I approach this? And some people, I it's really weird because when I like someone, I end up going really like I just ramble, but I don't do any flirting, and that I
mm,
just almost don't make any sense because.
yeah.
And that's when I know that I like someone, because if I don't and I'm just doing all the chat lines etc., then it's just I know that I don't really feel someone in that way, right? So,
Yeah.
but I sometimes think when but you're the only person, and a lot of people again are relating, but and as a community, we all love you, and we all know,
No, I mean, don't get me
from a
wrong. This is
love,
not about
there's
there's nothing about like self-esteem in this.
yeah,
You guys rock and you're amazing and thank you for that. And I see myself in relatively high regard too. The only reason that this is like a thing that I'm thinking about, or well, like there are two things. One thing is that have I have a feeling of genuinely having a crush on someone in real life once or twice maybe. And I'm 33. And other than that, I've had crushes on fictional people who are perfect because they're fictional. Like that doesn't count. And the other thing is that I've never really been that interested in dating. It's kind of like a thing that I've always done, like because I have to, in a way. Like, so that's kind of like that made me wonder about that stuff. But I definitely feel like um this is like very like obviously I knew uh that I was gay because I knew that where the feelings swing,
yeah,
but I don't know where I am with this. Like I don't really know. But it's just like an interesting thing I've been thinking about, and I almost feel like we should go through some of the reactions and relations people have to this because I feel like it's this is all very wholesome, and I really freaking love all the thoughts you guys have here.
yeah. So yeah, a lot of people are saying it's Morgie's saying that they can relate to what you said quite a bit. Um, H is saying you've got a lot going for you. Um, and Social saying it's interesting. Copper says he's got a romantic feeling for your mother, so that's the banter of the thing. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think it is. I think lots of people find it difficult of when you like someone of what do you do for the first time? Do you go to someone and how do you approach them, right? So I could probably tell you about a million things of not to do. Like
Mhm.
I always tell a story of when I was young of the worst chat up line I think I ever did, and when I used to always do chat
Favorite
up lines,
five
but
letters of the alphabet.
used to do them all, and people always used to say to me is because I used don't want to. It used to be quite easy for me to meet people because I used to just do the chat up lines, etc. But and
Mhm.
people always used to ask how I did it, and I just didn't really like. I didn't care people telling me no, but because everyone said, well, what do people say when they hear these chat lines? And I say honestly, they just tell me to fuck off. That's what they do. That's what they do.
Yeah.
The worst one I probably did was I was in a bar and I saw this girl that she looked quite nice, and I just decided to have this. I just had this some ice, just slammed it really aggressively as well and she was like, she said, what the fuck have you just done? I said, well, that's the ice broken. but she said, "Get away from me." Like that was my chat off line. But I'll never forget because my friends were there, and I still don't forget it about it now. But
Oh my god.
yeah, so but yeah, it is. But it was a lot harder, and I've got a lot of friends that can relate as well. Finding the right person, but also like, oh, how what do I do on a first date? What how
Hmm.
it's too vague to go just be yourself, but
Yeah.
it almost in a way where you have to, because you're almost interviewing them,
Yeah.
almost in a weird way.
No, but like I don't
Yeah,
actually think that I have any problem with what to do on a first date. It's just that I don't really know if it's like supposed to be like that difficult to like get a connection that's more than just like, oh, you seem like a nice person and that's it, or like platonic connection.
yeah.
Like it seems to be very difficult to spark anything in me. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully I'll keep going on the dating apps, and then someday I'll be like, oh, it's just because I didn't meet so and so.
Quite possibly, right? But
HJ has a good idea too.
prime
Prime first date.
first date,
Mhm.
right? Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I think
Because
so.
that's so fun to do without like really knowing the person.
Gamer said he'd been with a partner for 9 years and still doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So yeah, it is literally it's a
Yeah.
relationship. Relationships are difficult. First dates, dating's honestly the most difficult. Like when I was dating for a little bit, it was the work. It was before I met my current girlfriend. It was the hardest 4 months of my life because it's so difficult because you've now got these chats, you got these, because I did the online stuff. I was on Match.com, was the one in the UK. I think it's the universal one, isn't it? Match.com from different countries, and
Mm.
yeah, it was difficult of remembering what conversations I've had with people, what I've already told them, what I haven't told them. You're almost having about 6 or 7 chats at the same time, and
Yeah.
oh, and meeting them it is stressful, right? Who pays for who, etc. People.
Mm.
It is. These weird things. What's a good first date?
Um, I really like what you said, ASK, about for some dates it took 3 or 4 dates before I knew whether it's a friendship or something more, because it's not. Sometimes it's not fireworks all at once, and that does give me reassurance. And I know obviously that that's very normal to a degree. It's just that I've never felt fireworks at all at any dates, but they're also just all been first dates for that reason. So I definitely also think that there's an element of me being like needing to see it through a little more and not necessarily give up, which I have, because I haven't found it as interesting and as going home and working on my hobbies, which is the love of my life pretty much. It's fun when I came out as gay to my youngest sister, like many many years ago, like 15 years ago. So I told her, I'm not into girls, and she said that she looked me in the eyes and she said, that's right, you're into computers. And it's kind of true in a way, because i
Yeah.
I feel like I m- and this is also a part of all the thinking, is that, do I prioritize my hobbies more than having a relationship? And I think, sitting here as 33 years old and never have been in a relationship, the answer is yes. And I don't know how normal that is, or if I should just like, so when you say just be yourself, that is me. And it's also kind of silly, right? Because there are things that, like, I want to get through a relationship as well. So yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Watch this space. He's on the market, guys. So if you
Yeah.
are interested, and I don't know how where your radius is in terms of how far you're willing to meet someone.
Well, I was actually, one of the reasons why I recently went to New York is that I was told that it's like a cool place to meet lots of different gay people. And like, when you're in an alternative sexuality, like, the pool of people isn't necessarily that big where you are. So yeah.
Yeah.
I just to say that the radius doesn't necessarily matter that much.
No. So everywhere other than New Zealand.
I remember
So,
people telling me as a kid in young team that I will have feelings for someone else. Remember thinking a few years down the road, where turns out I'm demi, so only have the type of attraction to someone after having an emotional connection with them. I didn't have friends and got ignored, so that's why no sparks for me. Oh, interesting. See, the other thing is that like I remember when I was a kid, like in I don't know how to like I don't know what the term for this is in other school systems, but like at a younger kind of school where you're like, I think we were like 12, 14, 15, something like that. I remember, I know that's a widespread range, but somewhere in that. And I remember one of my classmates, one of my favorite friends at school, he told me in confidence that he had a crush at one of the girls at school. And I remember as like a 12-year-old or whatever I was, I remember thinking it was like alien language to me, having a crush on someone. Like I don't is what huh? What do you mean? What is that? Like I know what it meant, like, but like I just remember instinctively in my brain, like, I've never tried that. Like so it's interesting how all of this works and doesn't work, you know.
yeah. It's good
But
everyone sharing their
anyway,
stories. Yeah, we appreciate everyone
we
sharing their
are
stories.
yeah,
So I
appreciate it.
think that's a pretty good way to wrap up this first episode. So I want to say first and foremost, Electricnet, it's been a pleasure
It has been a
as
pleasure.
always. Chat, thank you. You've been absolutely awesome as always. Um, Small plugs. Filthy's streaming live tomorrow. Normal back to Jackbox 1 till 4 p.m. And then we'll be raiding Electricnet. Shocker, spoiler alerts. I know. So we'll be
So
carrying on the
that's
party then.
2 to 5 p.m. Europe time
That's it.
for
So,
that.
and yeah, there is an hour crossover because I deliberately did it thinking you started at 4. So, but you know, there'll be a slight overlay for that.
Overlap. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll overlay. Yeah, sure. So,
Yeah.
and then we'll continue the party at Electronet's channel that will be there as well. So I know another Fieldsy stream. I know, definitely. So yeah, I know exactly. And then we're
That's
back to
right.
regular Tuesday. No,
Marky wishes they would be sleeping at that time.
absolutely. But as the guest, it is up to you, sir. We will be going raiding someone. Who would be the most appropriate person to raid?
Are you telling me to find someone?
Yes, you're the guest. Let's end on you deciding who's the best person to send these lovely people off to. I love you too, Morgie.
Let me just see who's on. All right. Do you know the Kickin?
No, I don't.
That's excellent. You will learn. You will get to know a really good streamer now. One of my fave new Jackbox streamers.
Oh, I shouldn't be playing Jackbox at the moment, then, sir.
I know.
Can you send me the?
There it is in the chat.
Cool. Right.
Oh, thank you, ASK. Appreciate
That's
you.
it. And of course, if anyone hasn't followed Electronet, make sure you bloody well do because he's fucking awesome.
Oh,
There
there
you
it
go.
is, everybody.
There you go. There you go. I
Honest
can
truth.
swear. Right. Honest truth, right? So, right. Guys,
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, and I hope that you're getting someone really awesome next week or whenever. When's the next one?
the next one will be in the end of May.
Oh, so next month. Nice.
So it will be
You
next
got
month.
time to
So
prepare.
yeah, we will decide who is going to be our next special guest for episode 2. But how are we going to top this one? I don't know. Anyway, guys, you've been a
Appreciate
pleasure.
y'all.
You're all glorious, and we'll see you very soon.
We'll see you soon.
See ya.